Sheffield City Expats Club is a non-profit social organisation and our speakers are volunteers. The club as such assumes no responsibility or liability for the professional reputation of or the quality of services provided by the speaker today. And has been composing for the past 2 or 3 years. Ben won first place in the 4 to 11 age group at the Yamaha Junior Eurasian competition in Bangkok. Please give them a warm PCEC welcome.
Is the mic on, Judith?
One round.
Probably have to take it out.
Good morning,
Good morning.
and many thanks for having us here. It is always nice to see familiar faces and also to get some good food. Hopefully you like our music. Let's start by looking at what a song without words is and barcarolles. After that, we will talk about different testing organizations like ABRSM, Trinity, Yamaha Music School. First, I'm going to play my composition, Song Without Words.
Well, he has forgotten the scores, but he will try to play it anyway.
From memory, go on.
Yeah. You have to put in a memory card here.
What is a song without words? Does it make any sense? And shouldn't a song have words? Song Without Words was invented by Felix Mendelssohn and he wrote hundreds. It is a piece of instrumental music, usually for solo piano, that is structured like a lyrical song and often has a strong melody.
Right, yes. Well, I've got me along to talk the music boffin stuff. about the form and stuff like that of this piece that he's written. Like all good composers, he's got terrible memory for bringing the music, but very good for remembering the music itself. That was well remembered, I must say. So, surprisingly, not many composers have used this form, the song without words, which is surprising to me. I thought Mendelssohn, you think Mendelssohn when you think song without words, and then I looked for other composers who'd written them, and it's not very many, except Ben. But Rachmaninoff wrote one. I mean, Mendelssohn wrote hundreds, but Rachmaninoff wrote one in D minor. Charles Valentin Alcan, the French composer, wrote Recueil de Chants, which means basically songs without words. Fauré, another French composers seem to have liked this form, wrote some romances sans paroles, which means romances without words. Ben was learning to play one. And Chopin wrote a barcarolle in F sharp. Now, this piece is a song without words and a barcarolle. So what is a barcarolle? Does anyone know this word, barcarolle? Well, if you've been to Venice, you will know this word, because it's the Venetian gondola song. The song the gondolier will sing as he rows you along in the boat. And usually, as in Ben's piece, it has this rolling swell of the waves, you could hear it. Maybe now play that first two bars, you'll hear this sort of rolling bass. And that rhythm goes on throughout the piece, doesn't it, Ben? So it's like this rolling the waves under the gondola. So, talking about the form, well, Mendelssohn used to write what was called ABA form, which is like first section, a middle section, and the A comes back, the last section. But this piece it's really a constant development. There are no sections in a way, but if anything, it's A and then B. You hear the first bit and then another bit of music, but it doesn't really come back again, does it? So what we thought is, when you hear a new piece of music, you don't take it in very, very well. Nobody does, whether you're a musician or not. So we thought he'd play it again. Hopefully you can remember it a second time. So you maybe take in some of the information we've given you and think, oh, I get that, hear that. So would you mind playing it again? You get through it again?
Yes, hello? Start to have some sound. It's not me. No, okay. I started to write something about music assessment bodies. Then I looked at the map and I said, no, you cannot use that word here. You have to talk about music assessment organizations. Yes? Why would you assess musical skills in the first place? Well, you might be going to summer courses in music, you might be going here and there in the world, and they will ask you, what kind of level are you on? What can you do? And if you have a paper from an organization, you can send it in and say that I'm on level 5, I'm on level 6, I'm on level 7, etc., etc. So they get a picture of what you really are. And it creates a lot of discipline because you need to play correctly when you go and test yourself. Because if you don't do it in the correct way, you don't get the high marks that you need. Have you heard about that? No?
Yep.
Okay. So, which are the music assessment organizations? Well, I know about 3, but I was away from music for 40 years, so maybe I'm not relevant, but I know about 3 of them. But I'm sure there are more. However, that would be far too much for me. 1 is already enough, isn't it then?
Yep.
Yeah. Before we talk about ABRSM, what it is and what it stands for, I'd like to highlight also 2 other assessment organizations. The first one is called Yamaha Music School. It is popular here in Thailand. We even have a school here in Pattaya. And it seems like Yamaha Music School exists in about 40 countries. And Yamaha Music Schools have been around for more than 50 years and have introduced 6 million people to music. That's what you can read on their homepage. Yes, now it's your turn.
Yamaha Music Schools has 12 grades, but grade 12 is the lowest. I'll play 2 pieces from grade 7 in order to show how it works. Number 1, Merry Peasant, which also you might know it as Fröhliche Landmann by Robert Schumann. And then the second one is Elegy by C. Gurlitt.
How could you do that? You didn't have the scores in front of you.
Well, I obviously first learned to with the scores.
Okay. Then the second one is Trinity Music College. It's based in London. Music exams are available worldwide in about 60 countries. And it has 8 grades, starting with grade 1, and it caters for many different instruments. But let's not talk too much about that, because Ben follows the ABRSM, which is similar to Trinity anyway. ABRSM is short for the Associated Board of Royal Schools of Music. Sounds very nice. It was founded in 1889. It's an examination board also based in London, which provides examinations around the world. ABRSM rates musicians according to a scale from 1 to 8, and 8 is the highest one. And they claim that you should be capable of giving some kind of concert, Marcus, when you have passed grade 8. Yeah, that's the situation. They claim that more than 600,000 candidates take the ABRSM exam each year in 93 countries. And the next opportunity here in Thailand is in November 27. The exams are for over 35 instruments and incorporate individual components depending on what level you are. The student is required to play 3 pieces selected from 3 different types of music. So now it's your turn again.
AVRSM starts at grade 1. An example of a piece to play is The Egyptian Level by Kevin Wooding. Let's listen to that. Scales, arpeggios, dominants, and diminished sevenths, sight reading, and oral. Sight reading. An unseen piece, 30 seconds to prepare, and then played to the best of his or her ability. A piece from grade 4 is The Indian Pony Race by D.C. Glover. So oral. The student is required to demonstrate skills in listening to and analyzing music. At high grades, students should comment on features of a short piece, dynamics, phrasing, style, period, etc. But there's a hurdle. Before going higher than grade 4, you need to pass grade 5 in music theory, and I passed that about 2 years ago. Now, let's listen to a piece from grade 6, Los Tres Golpes by Cervantes. Two highest levels, level 7 and 8, are more stressing your capabilities to understand and express music, and of course being more demanding. On top of this, we have this monthly competition in Bangkok with ABR7 pieces. For grade 7 and 8, there is in addition also a mandatory piece by list. So the grade 7 pieces, Valse Sentimentale No. 5 by Maurice Ravel. So Ravel was born in 1875. He was French. He liked to experiment with musical form. His pieces can consist of complicated harmonies, but also expressing carefulness. Please try to see this one as somebody approaching something and in a careful way, trying to see what it is, finally backing off at the end. The next piece is Sonata in B minor K377 by Domenico Scarlatti. He was born in 1685. He was Italian. He spent much of his life in the service of the Portuguese and Spanish royal families. In the following piece, please try to get the feeling of Scarlatti convincing a Spanish prince. By the way, this piece was composed for the harpsichord, or if some of you may call it a tremolo, so there's no pedal involved. The third piece for grade 7 is Nocturne number 8 by Francis Poulenc. Born in 1899, he was French. He comes from the Poulenc chemical family. He was largely self-taught. Very beautiful melodies he wrote, though. Imagine a walk in the calm night, moon high up in the sky, or anything else you would like to imagine with this piece. Competition. It is about these three same pieces, but also one more to distinguish between grade 7 and 8 candidates. It simply means everybody has to play Etude number 4, opus 1 by Ferenc Liszt. He was born in 1811. He was Austrian and Hungarian. Shortly, he was the music star of his time.
Thank you, Ben. So if you've got any questions or for Ben or myself or Bill, then do feel free to ask. We'll try and answer them as honestly as we possibly can. Any questions? Ben? For me? Bill?
So we finished the music and the Q&A now? So,
Yes.
okay.
Unless you want us to play a bit of boogie woogie like we did last time.
What about Jerry Lewis?
Sorry? Sit on the speaker. This is really cool. Somebody's sitting on the speaker.
This is the first time somebody's sitting on the speaker.
That's really cool. Of course, we can't split the octave, can we? question somewhere.
Okay.
Sit on that.
This is the encore.
This is a new style. Can you play something?
Okay.
I can say some words.
This is still on yet. Ben is going to play a song called Cantaloupe Island. It's quite different. It's a jazzy piece. Maybe some of you have heard it. He learned it last summer when he took part.
This summer, actually.
This summer. Okay. Oh, but it's not summer now. Yeah. Anyway, the summer 2018 in England. So.
Just remember that Ben memorised all of this, and he's 11 years old. I know actors have to remember their lines, but I think it's something quite fantastic that a youngster like Ben can play the music that he's played. He's played a variety of music for us, and he's memorised it all because he left the music at home, which is quite easy to do. I'd leave my head at home if it wasn't screwed on. Okay, Ben, Marcus, before you go, can we have you both up here? And Dad as well. I didn't know Dad was going to do something. I can't get up on the stage. It's no good asking me up. Can you come round here, please? Oh, I dropped that bit. Okay. Do me a favour, Ben. Pick that up for me, please. Thank you so much. Let me put this rubbish down. Okay. to thank you very much for entertaining us so beautifully. Is that okay?
Yeah. Okay, 1, 2